Each year, I always get better and better at managing my money, and as a financial social worker, it is my duty to share with others. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing my updated 2025 monthly money routine. I like to think that managing money is actually quite easy, like the actual management of it on a very basic level. It's pretty much just like basic math and just check-ins, but I do understand the complexities of actually sticking to a budget. That obviously can be a challenge for a lot of people due to a lot of different reasons, but at its basic level, at its core, managing money is actually quite easy because, as I mentioned, it is pretty much just basic math. Now, before we dive into this monthly money routine, I do want to introduce you to today's sponsor, Relay, who I am partnering with in today's video. If you are a small business owner like myself, managing your money can be done super easily using Relay. Relay is an all-in-one business banking and money management platform that helps small businesses understand what they're earning, spending, and saving so they can make the best financial choices for their business. With Relay, business owners can bank with no hidden fees and no minimum balance required, organize expenses and cash reserves using up to 20 individual accounts, earn barrier-free savings up to 3.03% APY, send payments and deposits via ACH, wires, or checks, cash flow automations, integrate banking with accounting softwares like QuickBooks, and much more. Relay is on a mission to help you gain clarity about how your day-to-day finances is essential to building a profitable and sustainable business. And you can get started with Relay by using the link in my description box. Thank you to Relay for partnering with me on that portion of today's video. Now back to my regular content. So before the month starts, or right at the very top of the month, it is a good time to review the month ahead. I always recommend having your budget set up before the month actually starts, but there's no real harm in budgeting on the first of the month or somewhere around that time period. This is a good time to look at your calendar for upcoming events like birthdays, trips, or even irregular bills, aka bills that may not be due monthly, maybe bills that are due semi-annually or annually. The bills that are not so much on your radar, you definitely don't want to let those slip through the cracks. This is obviously an ideal time to actually set your monthly budget and what that might entail. This is when you're going to try to estimate how much you are going to spend on bills, how much you might be spending on irregular expenses like food, groceries, gas for your cars. This is when you're going to try to estimate what you're going to save or invest or even put towards debt. This is also an excellent time to review the previous month's spending or saving, or just the previous month's budget. You may find that there are some tweaks that you would like to make to your budget, so obviously that would be a good time to go ahead and make those tweaks. Maybe you spent a lot of money on clothes the previous month, so you want to decrease your clothing budget or eliminate your clothing budget for the upcoming month. Now, if you really want to be on top of it, you can go ahead and pay all of your fixed bills at the time that you are creating that budget at the top of the month. Now, that is an elite way of managing money, but people do it. I actually opt for a different route. All of our bills are on auto pay, and so I just let them come out on the days that they are drafted instead of going in and paying all of the bills. I'm not opposed to paying all of the bills at the beginning of the month. That actually sounds like not a bad idea, but I don't really find it to be way more beneficial than just letting the bills be auto drafted throughout the month. And in our case, we get a number of discounts for our bills, like our internet bill, for being enrolled in auto pay. So I'm actually saving money by just having the bills on auto pay. However, if there are any savings transfers or any investment transfers that you would like to automate, then that's a good time to do that. Around the middle of the month is a good time to do a financial check-in. I have been doing this for as long as I can remember, and it's just a good time to check in with your budget, to review your spending, to see where you are with your budget. Are there any tweaks that you need to make? Have you spent more from the clothing budget than you originally planned? So maybe you need to be mindful of your clothing spending for the duration of the month. It's a good time to see if you're still on track with your grocery budget, with your food budget, with your gas budget. You get the idea. And if your savings or investments are not automated, the middle of the month I find is an appropriate time to go ahead and make those transfers. It's also a good idea, depending on when your credit card bill is due to go ahead and make your credit card payment and pay off your credit card in full. Doing these things around the middle of the month is just a good time to basically get recalibrated so that you can go forth and finish out the rest of the month or the next couple of weeks a little bit more confidently. At the end of the month is when you want to reflect and reset. This is a good time to review your total income, your savings, your debt payments, just reviewing where your money has gone and also reviewing how much money you have brought in. And if you haven't categorized all of your expenses by then, it's a good time to do that. So going ahead and going through all of your expenses and categorizing them accordingly. Also a good time to celebrate any progress that you've made or any wins. You might even consider giving yourself a little treat if you have met any of your goals. And of course, it's a good time to start prepping for the month ahead and creating your next month's budget. So that's pretty much how I navigate the month on an overall scale, but there are some things that I do daily and some things that I do weekly. Every day I check our checking account balances and our credit card balance. I also check my credit score every day. When I log in to check our balance in our checking account and our balance in our credit card account, I am able to see my credit score, and so I do check my credit score every day. Another thing that I do every single day, if not every other day, is I actually track all of our spending. So every day at the end of the day, I go in and I track and categorize all of our expenses. You can certainly do this on a less frequent basis, but it works best for me to do this daily. That is because I find that we do have a lot of spending that takes place throughout the month. So it's just easier to do this on a daily basis. Everything that I do on a daily basis could probably be done on a weekly basis or even like a semi-monthly basis, perhaps. I guess if you really wanted to stretch it, you could do it on a monthly basis. I personally find that doing those things on a daily basis is what works best for us. So that is our 2025 monthly budget routine all laid out. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a like, subscribe if you're new and if you're liking what you're seeing, and I will catch you guys right back here in a few days in a brand new video. Bye guys.